The Premier of Germany's largest state has been spending a lot of time on the road lately. Ahead of the election in North Rhine-Westphalia, Jürgen Rüttgers is hitting the campaign trail, from Ostwestfalen to the Rhineland and Ruhr region. But the Conservatives' campaign juggernaut is stalling out, and each day Rüttgers has to address troubling headlines and explain why the campaign has hit a roadblock.
Surveys show that 57% of voters in North Rhine-Westphalia could imagine sending Berlin a wake-up call in this election. But I think that's improved in recent weeks since the government started making some good decisions in response to the crisis.
A string of fundraising scandals has damaged Rüttgers' squeaky clean image, and pointing the finger at Germany's Conservative-led federal government is a fitting distraction. The city of Alsdorf was expecting an appearance by Chancellor Angela Merkel today, but the Greek bailout has kept her busy.
It's a shame she's not coming. Alsdorf is waiting for something like that, but it's another broken promise.
I think what happens in Berlin shapes people's opinions. It's very important and spills over into North Rhine-Westphalia too.
I don't think what they're doing in Berlin is relevant for me.
What happens at the national level affects North Rhine-Westphalia. I think we'll see a change of power here.
That would be good news for the Social Democrats. After suffering a bitter defeat in the federal election last year, the party now has reason to hope. Until recently, the odds of SPD challenger Hannelore Kraft winning here seemed slim, but suddenly she's looking like the party's ticket back to power.
We've concentrated on our strength since 2005, being the party that takes care of the people. We really went door to door and did a lot of work locally, and that shows. In the end, that's what will bring in the deciding votes.
Though education is still a big topic, Kraft has benefited in an election campaign that's rarely revolved around hot-button issues. For the first time in years, the SPD is able to assume the role of the opposition and portray the state vote as a referendum on the federal government, and promise to block unpopular initiatives in Germany's second chamber of parliament where the states are represented.
We're a federal country and the Bundesrat is an important body. If we win here, Merkel's government will no longer have a majority in the Bundesrat to enact these absurd tax cuts or extend the life of nuclear power plants, which nobody wants.
Meanwhile, Jürgen Rüttgers' bus has arrived in Remscheid. For the state premier, campaigning is all about the personal touch, giving his Conservative party a human face. He's not interested in talking about national politics, but ensuring voters get to know their state premier as a husband and a father. He can cook, but he's a bit clumsy. And voters also learn where Rüttgers and his wife spend their holiday.
Our favorite vacation destination is southern France. I've been going there for 40 years now. My husband, not quite that long, but he enjoys it just as much.
North Rhine-Westphalia is Germany's old industrial heartland and a historic base for the SPD. People here prize solidarity. Rüttgers rose to power in the Social Democratic stronghold 5 years ago. Since then, he's been cast in the role of the Conservative Party's social conscience.
Firstly, it's clear and proven that in the largest social market economy, the CDU must represent the centre course, meaning that economic common sense and social justice always go together. That's an important point. But the second point is that it's good when politics at the federal and state level work together in state elections.
It's noticeable how often Rüttgers speaks of the role played by the federal government. Meanwhile, he's adopted a decidedly presidential campaign style, evident at his last stop of the day in the city of Hagen. Rüttgers is on a listening tour, or as some members of his team call it, Rüttgers holds court. Voters can take their concerns right to the top, a chance for him to play the role of caretaker. Suddenly, Berlin seems very far away.
I don't think the public wants a change in power. The people aren't saying they want a different government. But the opposition can't say they have nothing to do with our problems, so they prefer to talk about Berlin rather than North Rhine-Westphalia.
If the CDU loses, Rüttgers knows where to point the finger: toward Berlin and the federal government.